Welcome back. I'm Broward County Commissioner Stacy Ritter here with Broward County Property Appraiser Parrish. Don't forget, you can reach me at sritter@broward.org or Facebook. My Twitter handle is @Stacy Ritter. Do you tweet?
No, we do at the office, but I don't.
What's the office?
BCPA.net. I mean BCPA. It's just
at BCPA.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, it's Broward. It's Property Appraiser at BCPA. BCA.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
We do Facebook, we do Twitter. No, I know. We do Facebook and Twitter and email. I do the email. I occasionally.
What's your email address?
Oh, Lori, Lori, @bcpa.net. And that's really me that answers them.
It is really Lori that
answers. And our main number for our office, if you have any questions at all, 954-357-6830. And probably one of the things that your viewers want to know is senior exemption. They're real popular in Tamarack. The senior exemptions, each year the state law requires us to remove them, and then we can send you an automatic renewal. The automatic renewals will be mailed February 1st. If everything is the same, there's the new income requirement went up a few dollars. It's basically $27,000. If everything's the same, you simply sign your name and date it and mail it back to us. And it's not necessary to mail them certified, because if we don't get one, we'll send you a notice and ask, did you forget?
Okay, good. Although stamps are 44 cents these days.
45, they went up.
Oh.
It just
went
up.
I had the forever stamps.
Me too.
Thank God.
I thought, because I kept, and then I would have like the pennies or 2 cents less from whatever, and it would look like some kid in it, but I refused. I used them all.
I had a boss who did that way back when I started practicing law in the 80s, and he would buy the 2 and 1 cent stamps when mail was basically very inexpensive, although we thought back then it was expensive. And I used to do on legal envelopes 10 stamps. It looked ridiculous.
Well, no, I only use whatever it is that I bought, and I need, like it was 33 cents, it goes up. So I put whatever extra. I'm not.
Oh,
listen, I get my money's worth. I'm still like that.
So you were elected, you said in 84 to the
84 school board.
And you came to the county commission in 88.
Correct.
What made you run for the county commission?
Well, I always wanted to be a county commissioner.
Why?
I never wanted to be a school board member. Because I thought the county...
Not too many elected officials say I never wanted to be what I was.
But no, I love that job. It's probably my favorite job. This is the one, the property appraiser is the one I'm best cut out for, because I'm an accountant. And I mean, I love running multiple regression analysis and statistical information. I mean, to me, they're like puzzles. It's like hunting Easter eggs, so I love it. But I wanted to be a county commissioner because I was an environmental activist, a product of the 60s, protesting everything and women's rights and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to be a county commissioner because I thought it was the government. But I ran for the school board because the incumbent school board member's daughter and my son were in gifted classes. And I had always thought that elected officials were better than me, that I was too ordinary to do anything. And this woman was nuts. I went to a gifted parents meeting and I thought, I'd never dreamed that people acted and talked like that. So all of the moms went out after, and I said, somebody needs to run for that. We need to get rid of her. Somebody needs to run for the school board. Well, nobody else wanted to do it. So all the moms agreed to help me, and they told me it was a part-time job.
Right.
And I ran for the school board.
And that was countywide back then?
Countywide, I started out with 7 Democratic opponents and an incumbent school board member with Reagan at the top of the ticket. Had no money. Like all my friends would make 100 copies at their office. They would ask their boss, or if they owned the company, if they could make 100 Xerox copies. And I walked. They called me the housewife from Cooper City. However, I happened to have been vice president of a company, but they called me the housewife from Cooper City because they called it the Battle of the Cooper City. The incumbent school board member and I lived 3 blocks apart. But that's how I started. And I thought I had it fixed. Increased teachers' salaries double-digit every year for 4 years. We invited the public in, made our public schools more accessible, because I don't know if things have changed, but back then only 1 out of every 4 voters had some connection to public schools, be it grandchildren. And I wanted them to see our schools and feel our schools and understand how important education was. And then I ran for the county commissioner because I thought the county was the government. I still do. I thought See,
Well,
because
what do you mean when you say that? You thought the county was government as
the
opposed
government.
to city? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
But there was more-
it's
but there was more
libraries
government.
and it's culture, it's health and human services, and it's roads, it's real life issues that have a long-term impact on people, and they don't know it.
So who were the players when you first got elected? Who were
When
the
I first
big
got
players?
elected, well, I remember when in '84, Freddie Lipman and Jack Tobin in the House of Representatives, and on the Senate side, it would have been Ken Jenney and Jim Scott.
Which names are still very, very familiar to people.
But they would have been.
And how about on the county commission in '88? Who would
Oh,
have
in
been the
county
powerhouse?
commission, it was Scott. I had to learn Robert's rules and Nikki, Scott and Nikki.
Scott
But I
Cameron and Nikki Grossman.
yeah, but I learned to hold my own. I mean, I'm a whiz at parliamentary procedure.
Well, we could use you back on the county commission.
I mean, a whiz. In fact, many of the things y'all do today, I did.
And there were 7 back then,
7,
and all countywide.
all countywide. And I liked it that way. Because I thought the county was a regional government. You should live in a geographic district, but everybody should get to vote for you.
Right. And because we're voting on everyone's issues.
Right.
And you left in '90. So you were there for
16 years to 2004.
And did the players change over the course
About
of
every 2 years. Well, when I first got there, I would lose land use decisions 6-1. And so 4 years after I came, Sue Gunsberger and John Rodstrom came, and we had back then there was all this undeveloped land and all this stuff, and I thought everybody was looking at immediate gratification.
Right, not the
Nobody
future.
was thinking when this comes out of the ground, the schools and the
Right.
roads. I mean, they created this suburban sprawl, which should never have happened. Nobody thought about real planning. It was just that issue that day. But so Sue and John got elected because I thought, I'm sick of being 6-1 up here. I need some votes. I've got to go find some good candidates. So, and it was funny, at our first land use transmittal hearing after they got elected, Sue and I lost 5-2. Sue was like devastated, and she looked at me and she said, "How can you smile?" I said, "I'm 100% better off than I used to be."
And now, there were factions back then.
Yes, and no. To be honest with you, I always got along with everybody. Always have.
Well,
Because
There's
it's not a
never
good idea to not get along with them.
Well, they're
Because
so
when
few.
you're asleep, I'll be thinking how to win.
well, it's also so small. I mean, for me, I read, oh, she's with this faction, she's that. It changes every Tuesday.
Well,
the votes change every Tuesday.
Well, and if they say Democrat and Republican, I've served with Ed Kennedy, I served with Jim Scott, we're both Republicans. I bet 99% of the time Ed Kennedy and I voted alike.
Right.
I'll bet 99% of the time Jim Scott and I voted alike. It's probably it's
not
those issues. I mean, one of the most challenging issues was always the airport.
Oh, still is.
Still there. We talked about synchronizing the lights, and then we finally got somewhere, and then Wilma came and knocked them out. I mean, but some of those issues. But what I was always sort of the mom. I would remember your birthdays and special events.
Well,
so somebody had to be mom at the commission.
One of our very best friends has a big birthday this year.
She does.
So we'll have to get together and
she does.
And it happens to fall on a Tuesday.
Oh, don't you remember I did 60?
I do. I do
Y'all
remember.
messed up the meeting, yeah.
Not 60 anymore, so.
It's a much bigger number.
Much bigger number. Bigger than both of our numbers,
right.
actually.
Well, actually, she's only 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day older than me.
She's
but
still
she's
older.
thinner.
No, I don't know. Well, and here's the good news. For you, she won't be here when you have a big birthday, so she won't be able to reciprocate.
Oh, no, she'll harass me. She's put signs up on my streets. We're actually socially friends. So.
Yeah, as are we. Well, that's it. Well, for this edition.
Thanks for having me. I loved it.
You know what? Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Broward County Property Appraiser Lori Parrish for coming out to the Tamarack Cafe and Dining this morning. We will be back with another edition of Coffee with Stacy, and have a great day.